Good morning, guys. Happy blessed Tuesday, and welcome back to Storytellers Corner. Where we're going back to the high seas with um, our story, The Quiet Sea. And this is chapter 14, The Second Tide. And I think there's a second bout of love in the air. So let's read on. Chapter 14. So let's see what's happening there in Portsmouth with young Davy Toff. Davy noticed it before Eliza did. Captain Elias Crow was nervous. Not nervous about storms, not about business, not even when Portsmouth officials argued with him, but nervous around Davy's mother. It began with tea. Captain Crow had taken to dropping by the cottage in the late afternoons, always claiming he was there to discuss shop matters. Yet somehow the conversation drifted to garden fences, to recipes, to stories of Portsmouth before Davy was born. Davy's mother would sit across from him, chin resting lightly in her hands, watching him the way one watches an horizon, steady and patient. Crow, who was once commanded ships through violent waters, could barely hold his teacup without adjusting his grip 3 times. And there was an ominous clinking of teacup on plate. Eliza noticed. One evening after Captain Crow left abruptly, claiming he had important ropes to inspect, Eliza turned slowly to Davy. "He's in love." Davy blinked. With who?" Eliza stared at him. "With your mother." Davy dropped the spoon he was holding. "Mate, that's illegal." "No," she said calmly, "it's romantic." Davy paced the room. "I can't believe he's in love with my mum. He's Crow, Captain Crow." "And your mother," Eliza replied gently, "is extraordinary." That was annoyingly true. It took about a week. Crow finally admitted something, not to Davy, but to Eliza. She steadies me," he said gruffly, while pretending to rearrange inventories at the shop. "That's unusually what love feels like," Eliza replied. Captain Crow scowled. "I'm too old for love." Eliza smiled softly. "You're exactly the right age for love." He didn't answer, but he didn't deny it either. Of course, Davy's mother knows. Of course she knew. She had known from the moment Captain Crow began bringing unnecessary gifts. Fresh fish, repaired shutters, a new latch for the garden gate. One evening, as the sun dipped low, she found him fixing the crooked fence without being asked. "You don't have to keep inventing reasons to stand in my garden," she said gently. Captain Crow froze. "I wasn't inventing," "I wasn't inventing," she smiled. "I know." There was no dramatic confession, no grand speech, just two people who lived full lives standing quietly in the evening light. "I don't say much any more," Captain Crow said. "Good," she replied. "I've had enough of losing sailors." That was the closest either of them came to saying it, and it was enough. That night, Davy stood outside the cottage, watching Crow walking home slower than usual. Eliza slipped her hand in his. It's strange," Davy murmured. "What is?" "The man who taught me about the sea, learning how to stay. Now, he's fallen in love with my mum." Eliza rested her head against his shoulder. "Love isn't only for the beginning of life." Davy smiled faintly. "No, sometimes it's the second tide." And inside the cottage, his mother hummed softly while setting aside 2 cups instead of 1. Not because anything had been declared, but because something had begun. Hey, romance in the air again, guys. So let's see what happens with Captain Crow and Davy's mum. let's see what happens there, guys, with them two. I think they should make a good match. Davey's a bit alarmed. He thinks it's like, what? The captain who taught me on the ice seas wants to be my dad. But we'll see. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed that. So join me tomorrow for chapter 15, The Quiet Awakening. And that's a Wednesday. Chapter 15, The Quiet Awakening. But now, we're off to Topsy's Tickle Town tonight, guys, for chapter 59. And it's the case of the extra shadow. And I think that is Lisa, our new resident in Topsy Tickle. And Patricia, I think they're going to investigate about the shadow. So it's a bit like the Snoop sisters, if you remember the two old ladies with detectives. We'll see what happens there, guys. They're going to do a bit of investigate detective work there, guys. It's like going to be like Cagney and Lacey, I think so. Watch out for that, guys. Join me tonight and for Topsy Tickle Town, and we'll see what's the missing shadow, and see if Patricia and Lisa can track it down. Maybe with the help of Gigi and Richard the Ticklish Giant. We'll see. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this story with Davy. Where Captain Crow, sorry guys, with Captain Crow, he's falling slowly in love with Davy's mother. It's a strange scenario, but they should make one big happy family, I think. So maybe we'll be hearing another set of wedding bells. So we'll see. But anyway, guys, thank you for joining us, Storytellers Corner this morning. Have a blessed Tuesday. Stay safe and join me later for Topsy Tickle Town. When I point that way, Topsy Tickle Town. So here we go, guys. Thank you very much, guys. God bless you all. Bye-bye.